People have always lived in deltas or river basins. There are sufficient supplies of food and water transport simplifies imports and exports. For centuries, the water and subsurface in deltas and river basins have been linked to local economies and prosperity. They are interdependent. Excess of water, water shortages, land subsidence, sea level rise or salinization are all problems that manifest themselves in low-lying deltas. Investments and actions in the delta are often costly and have a large impact on society. Therefore, they should be sustainable. Deltas and river basins are complex systems, and every intervention has a wider impact. Because no one knows exactly what the future holds, it is important that investments are robust or flexible. Keep options open to adapt if necessary. Deltares calls this adaptive planning, also known as adaptive delta management. First, let's set the scope for our decision-making process. What are the main problems and objectives? With our models and expert judgment, we can calculate if there will be too much or too little water, and whether that water is too saline, under a wide range of possible climate and socio-economic scenarios. We can also estimate whether the land will subside due to, for example, the extraction of groundwater or building on soft soils. Such a stress test will help you to evaluate how much change your current and future management can cope with, and at the same time inform you on adaptation challenges that lie ahead. We look at possible measures to tackle challenges in consultation with the stakeholders. Deltares has the design tools and technical know-how to support this process. In combination with our fast computer models, we can show, sometimes on the spot, how effective policy actions will be. Once the possible measures have been identified, we provide insight in their effectiveness over time, the flexibility to switch from one measure to another, and their costs and benefits, by drawing adaptation pathways, possible routes for adaptation and investments that will satisfy your main objectives. A decision has to be taken on a plan that can be implemented and financed over time. The idea is to take the necessary short-term actions to be prepared, but to keep options open. You specify long-term actions to adapt if needed. To know when to stay on track or to take action, signposts to monitor and trigger values have to be defined. Deltares can support this step with advice on and support to the stakeholder process, advice on financing arrangements and with monitoring plans. Clearly, our clients put the measures into place. We are still available for advice about adjustments or for information. For example, when monitoring and evaluation show this is needed. This is also a process that is managed by our clients, but Deltares can help to assess how your adaptive plan will be impacted by the monitoring results, and we can advise about the required changes, for instance by using the models from step 1. This approach can be used to keep delta sustainable, in other words to maintain safety, economy and living conditions in the longer term. Deltares is the right partner here. Our experts understand like no other how complex deltas are, and their research relating to water, the subsurface and infrastructure is globally recognized. However, we can only do this by working together closely with other institutes in our networks and in our clients' networks too. The adaptive planning approach has been tested and implemented in the Dutch Delta Plan. It is a practice-based, transparent approach that we have also implemented in other countries, including Vietnam, Bangladesh and New Zealand. Adaptive planning makes healthy and safe living and working in delta areas possible.